I am really sorry that I need to be the one who tells you this, but Americans are about to get royally screwed. Please, let me enlighten you in this video and tell you exactly what is happening right now because unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people understand what is actually happening, but the actions that are being taken right here, right now, is going to cause the money in our hands to literally evaporate. Yes, gone in the wind. And I want to tell you what is going on because I'm not sure about you, but I am sick and tired of the games, the lies, the BS, the smoke and mirrors, all of the deceit that is happening, and all of the games that they continue to play. Drop a comment down below. Let me know. Are you also sick of all this? Because I am 100% sick of being told one thing when realistically, they're doing the total opposite. I want to explain it here in this video. Now, to be fair with you, this could turn into a very long video. I don't want this to be a very long video. Not only do I not want it to be a long video, I don't think you want to sit here and listen to a very long video. So I'm going to give it to you straight, right to the point here, but I want to break down the details of what was recently announced, how this is going to evaporate the money right out of our hands. And unfortunately, a lot of you that watch the videos here on this channel, low income, fixed income beneficiaries, are also going to feel the brunt of this way more than the vast majority of other people. So yeah, are you excited yet? Not? Anyway, drop your comments down below. Let me know how you're feeling right now and if you are feeling just as irritated as I am about all of the misleading BS that is out there and you just want the truth for once. Anyway, so let's just break it all down right here, right now, super fast. The other day, the Federal Reserve was out and they lowered interest rates by a whopping 25 basis points. But who cares? That is not what I want to share with you in this video. But rather, that is the headline, the attention-grabbing information, and that is the whole purpose out of the Federal Reserve is let's lower interest rates by 25 basis points or 1/4% to get people to focus on that while we pull the rug out from under them with some other actions that they're going to be taking. So let's not worry about the 1/4 point of interest rate cut that they did. Who cares? That's going to do nothing for you. You're actually going to lose more money than that based on what they did here. But they also announced something else called reserve management purchases. Reserve management purchases. Okay, what is that? That is just a fancy way of basically saying they're printing money and they're putting money into the economy at a pace of about $40 billion per month that is also going to be reinvested. That's going to be way more than $40 billion, okay? Now, they could go significantly higher than that, but they're starting out of the gate at $40 billion of fresh money printing. In other words, adding liquidity into the system, okay? Now, here's what's super interesting about this. When the Federal Reserve generally comes in and prints money, when do they do that? When the stock market is at all-time highs? When gold prices are at all-time highs, when silver prices are at all-time highs, when the real estate market is at nearly all-time highs, when everything is topping out at all-time highs, is that when the Federal Reserve comes in and prints money? No, that's not when they do it. That is definitely not when they print money. They print money as a resort, an action of last resort, right? When the economy's fallen off a cliff, when everything is going down substantially and everything is suffering essentially, they come in and they print tons and tons of money to reinflate and to basically stabilize the economy. That's what they do. They typically do not print money when everything's topping out and everything is like at all-time highs. They just typically do not do that. So why are they doing it this time? Well, really what they're telling us by these reserve management purchases of the $40 billion a month is basically they're telling us with their actions here is that the economy absolutely blows and they need to inject all of this liquidity into the system to basically keep it from collapsing onto itself. Okay, that's real encouraging. Thanks, guys, right? Meanwhile, they're artificially inflating the prices of basically the equity markets, as in the stock market, things like that. It's just a whole big game, and yeah, most people are getting totally screwed by this whole situation. But that's not even the worst part about all this. Get this. With all of this, guess what? Not only are they just going to be printing this $40 billion a month and adding this liquidity into the system and basically making sure that it doesn't collapse, this is going to do what? Is it going to bring inflation up or down? I think you already know the answer to this, right? Because we're all experts on inflation these days after living through all of the chaos from basically 2021 and beyond when inflation went up to 9.1%. And they said, oh no, it's transitory. Don't worry, it'll be down very soon. Here we are, basically at the very, very end of 2025, as I film this video right now, and inflation is still sitting at 3%. And they told us 5 years ago, 4 years ago, oh, it's transitory. Sorry, 4 or 5 years is not transitory, right? So anyway, we just heard out of the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, again the other day, oh, we're going to see a one-time price adjustment in the first quarter of 2026 because of the tariff impacts. Really? He's going to play this crap again? Seriously? Come on, dude. We can see right through your freaking games here. We're not that stupid. We know better than this, right? But here's the worst part about it. They're printing all this money, and what is it going to do? It's going to jack inflation like crazy, okay? We're already sitting at 3% inflation. They're printing $40 billion a month. More liquidity. What happens? That drives inflation. We're going to see a spike in more inflation, not only from the tariffs, but we're going to see money printing induced inflation as well. That's also likely going to be hitting here very, very soon. So we're going to have like this double whammy effect of inflation coming in and basically whacking all of us, jacking up prices as everybody bids up prices because there's more money, more liquidity in the system. Therefore, prices are going to go up. Now, if you didn't think that was bad enough, guess what? Not only is this going to increase prices, but guess what else that does? It permanently reduces the purchasing power of your dollars. What do I mean? Depletion of purchasing power. What that simply means is that your $1 gets you, well, nothing. It gets you absolutely nothing, right? In fact, in the last, 50 years or something like that, we've lost something like 97% of the purchasing power of the dollar. In other words, $1, say 50 some odd years ago, was worth $1. Today, it's worth 3 cents. We've lost 97 cents of that dollar, and now we have 3 cents left of that dollar. My point is, every time that they print money, they deplete the purchasing power of our dollars, and prices are driven higher through inflation. So therefore, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, low income, fixed income are going to get screwed the most out of this whole thing, and this is why. Because your income is basically just the same as it always is. It doesn't just adjust higher. You can't go to your boss and say, knock, knock, Social Security, hey, why don't you give me a raise? And they say, hey, no, we're not giving you a raise. We gave you a whopping 2.8% for 2026. Yeah, that's going to do a whole lot. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, the Medicare Part B premium, you know where that's all at. That's going up 9.6% as well. You've heard me rant about that before, but this is the situation. Now, they make it sound like, oh no, we're just going to buy 40 billion, a little while here out until April, basically tax day to maintain liquidity. And then this is going to be a very temporary thing. That is so BS. That is so BS. Here's why. They basically printed money for like 10 straight years from 2008 when we had the great financial crisis out until basically like 2020 or so, a little before that. They printed money for 10 years straight, and they started that during the great financial crisis. Wasn't that supposed to be temporary at the time too? And that was called QE, quantitative easing. Oh yeah, they give it some really fancy name, just like I've been saying for a very long time. When they print money, they give it some cute little name. This time, it's no longer called quantitative easing, QE. It's called reserve management purchases. What the F does that even mean? Seriously, can somebody explain this bullshit to me? Seriously, this is so freaking stupid. All they're doing is printing money, and they're basically robbing us because our money gets us nothing anymore. I'm so sick of this. I mean, seriously, right? Seriously, I'm getting more frustrated the more I talk about this, because here's the deal. Some people are acting like, oh, this is good. We're going to print all this money. It's like, do you realize what that does to the purchasing power of our dollars? Nothing. It depletes it even further. So all this money that you think you have to live on, it's fine. The dollars are going to stay the same, as in, let's just say that you're getting an income, or a fixed income, whatever your monthly income is. Let's just say it's $1,000 for easy purposes here. You're still going to get $1,000, but here's the problem. the purchasing power of that $1,000 is going to deplete significantly faster, right? My point is, let's just say that your $1,000 gets you your rent, your utilities, and your groceries. I don't know. I highly doubt $1,000 covers that, but I'm just saying for example purposes here. Okay. Well, let's just say that your rent goes up by 7%, utilities go up by 12%, food prices go up by another 12%, and all this other stuff. Now your $1,000 that covered all this, no, it doesn't even get you close to that anymore. Now you've got a situation where you need $1,200 a month because everything has gone up, say collectively 20-25% again, because they print, well, over the course of the next several months here, who knows how long they're going to print for, and realistically, if any little blip on the screen comes in to the economy and oh my, we got a little slowdown, oh my, things are slowing a little bit, we better inject the system with even more free printed money. Yeah, let's do that. That's a real brainiac idea. Let's print more money, cause more inflation, screw people even more out of the hard-earned dollars that they have, and now they can get even less. Yeah, that's really, really smart. Let's do that, right? So they're starting with 40 billion, but realistically, it's going to be reinvested. So realistically, that 40 billion could be 50, 55, even 60 billion. That's just a start. Who says that they don't ramp this up to say 50, 60, 80, 100 billion, 150, 80 billion dollars a month? This is a month that they're doing this. This is nuts. Okay, now if we were in a situation where the economy was falling off of a cliff and the market was crashing and burning and real estate was, up in flames and everything else was just, basically collapsing, it'd be a totally different story right now. But every asset class that you can see across the board is basically making all-time highs. We're at all-time highs, and the Federal Reserve thinks it is a smart idea. All of these economists, really, they can't come together collectively and come together with a more intelligent approach than this? They're going to print money. Yeah, that's really good. Didn't we learn our freaking lesson from 2020 and 2021? Did nobody learn anything from this? What are they doing? Seriously, right? Did anybody grow a brain during 2020 and 2021 when they printed $6 trillion and we had all of this inflation nightmare? Did anybody learn anything from that other than us here in this community and on this channel? I've been pounding the table on this for years, okay? It would be totally different if the economy was falling off a cliff and if everything was going down substantially. It'd be totally different. It's not. It's the total opposite. Everything is going straight up, and now they decide to print money. What is that telling us? What is the messaging that they are telling us? Don't listen to the words that they say. The words that they say are just a whole bunch of lines of BS. Okay, don't listen to anything that they say, but rather watch what they're doing. They say one thing, oh, it's a strong, robust economy. This is a great economy. People are doing awesome. Really? Show me somebody, right? There's like a small percentage of the population that might be doing well. Okay, fine. That's going to be in any economy, no matter what. There's always going to be a segment of the population that is doing fine financially. Okay, fine. But how about maybe, I don't know, the people with an income under, say, like 50, 60 grand a year or something like that? I don't think those people are saying that, oh yeah, everything's fine and dandy, I'm doing awesome financially. I don't think those people are saying that whatsoever. And now they're going to print a whole bunch of money and basically inflate it into oblivion. Boom! There it goes, evaporated right out of your hands. That, weekly shopping or the weekly grocery haul of, say, $150 or $200 or whatever it takes to feed yourself for a week anymore. Yeah, good luck. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen anymore. They're going to jack up the prices on everything. And when we go forward, say, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, a year from now, something like that, and prices are significantly higher, they're going to sit there and scratch their head and think, I wonder what happened. I can't quite figure this out. Prices are still higher. Inflation hasn't hit our 2% target. What are we doing? What's going on here, right? Like, come on, figure this out. This is not that hard to figure out. But anyway, point being is that there's a lot of people out there pounding the table saying, oh, this is such a great thing. My point behind this is that it's actually not a very good thing right now. okay? It might sound good, but realistically, the printing of money right here, right now, is really, really, really bad timing. It's going to cause way more inflation, not only money printing inflation, but also tariff-induced inflation. It's going to be a double whammy on everything, as I mentioned earlier. We're going to see the depletion of our purchasing power getting less and less. Therefore, what goes up does not always come down when it comes to prices. I think we've learned that lesson over the last several years when prices went up on everything and they said, don't worry, inflation's coming down. And I kept coming back in videos and saying, inflation is not rising as rapidly as it was. Don't let them fool you by saying inflation is coming down. No, it's not. It's not going down. It's not rising at the pace that it was, making it look like it's coming down. It's not coming down. It's just not increasing as fast, making it look like prices are coming down, when really they're not. Prices are not coming down. And I think we all 100% recognize that because we've seen it. Prices jacked a couple years ago, well, more than a couple years ago, a few years ago now, when inflation was rising rapidly. There you go, I can say it. Rising rapidly, prices were rising rapidly. And prices never came down from that. They're still elevated and have still gone up, just not at the pace that they did a few years ago. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you down below. I think my rant is over for now. I could sit here and rant on this for a while now, but this is nuts to see this. But I don't know. We may have a little bit of a crash and burn here sooner than later. Because if they're printing money now, what that tells us is they're scared. They're scared of a liquidity situation. They're scared of a run. They're printing money because they don't have any money. And there's nobody to buy the debt of the United States, okay? Generally, overseas countries are generally like Japan, China, things like this. They're typically the ones who buy the debt of the United States, right? They don't even want to buy our crap debt anymore. So the Federal Reserve has to come in and buy our debt. And so they buy our debt and then they buy short-term bills, treasury bills. That's what they're doing. So that's how they pump liquidity into the system, is by, buying these short-term T-bills. Yeah. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you down below if you want to. That's maybe the end of my rant for now. Thanks for watching this. Appreciate all of you. Anyway, I'm just getting so sick of all the games. I'm just really sick of the games. Really, really sick of the games and all of the crap that they keep telling us and saying, oh no, it's one thing. It's like, no, look at your actions. The actions are totally separate from what they're saying. It's just getting really old. Anyway, I am here for you. I will continue to represent and advocate for you in any way that I possibly can. I appreciate you watching this. Thank you so much. If you have not done so, please consider subscribing, 100% free. Please share the video, 100% free. Share button down below. Otherwise, check out the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library, about 6,000 plus videos. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy your day. I look forward to hearing from you again soon down below. I look forward to reading your comments. Otherwise, take care. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to keep you informed because, unfortunately, our stupid local news does not talk about this. Sorry. I think the local news is completely worthless. They do nothing. They sit there and act like everything's rosy and peachy. It's like, dude, pull your head out of some dark, nasty place and look at what is actually happening and report good stuff to the people. I don't know. I just feel like local news is just worthless. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate all of you. I'm going to do whatever I can for you in this community. That's my dedication, my promise to you. Otherwise, happy holidays, if there is such a thing anymore. Seriously, ridiculous. Anyway, enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in the next video. I'll catch you later. See ya.